More details of Michael Jackson's finances were revealed today as an accountant testified for AEG about how much potential income was lost because of the singer's death. CBS 2's Randy Page shows us why the expert says the pop star was, quote, tapped out.
For all of his wealth, fame, and good fortune, a financial expert testifying for AEG today concluded Michael Jackson was in financial trouble. The man spent more than he brought in, forensic accountant William Ackerman testified. He then produced this graph. The blue bars show how much Jackson brought in every year between 2001 and 2009, and the red bars show how much he spent. On an annual basis, he was spending $15 to $20 million a year more than he brought in, Ackerman testified. The accountant went on to say the biggest chunk of his earnings had to be used to pay for Jackson's staggering debt. Ackerman testified Michael Jackson was paying close to $30 million a year in interest in 2009, the year he died. Even though he owned half of a music catalog estimated to be worth as much as $2 billion, Ackerman testified nobody would lend him any more money. He was tapped out, the accountant testified. If Michael Jackson had lived another 15 years to age 65, assuming he would continue to support his mother and 3 children at the level he provided up until his death, how much money would he likely spend? The accountant testified his estimate for the grand total would be about $21.5 million. But on cross-examination, Ackerman testified Michael Jackson's debt did not increase during the last 3 years of his life. Cross-examination continues tomorrow.
What are you guys working on?
Good question. Over the past 2 years, Charter has upgraded its entire network. No wonder Charter customer satisfaction is at an all-time high.
We're upgrading the network.
Switch to Charter and see why thousands choose us every day.
Michael Jackson earned countless millions of dollars during his career. However, at the singer's wrongful death trial, we're hearing that he was deeply in debt at the time of his death. Eyewitness News reporter Miriam Hernandez has today's testimony.
As Michael Jackson was laid to rest, the music icon was nearly $400 million in debt, with bills still mounting, according to the testimony of a forensic accountant. CPA William Ackerman, a defense witness for concert promoter AEG, presented chart after chart, red bars indicating Jackson's spending exceeded his income. Finances are spotlighted to contest the amount that the jury could potentially award Katherine Jackson and the star's children should the jury find that AEG is liable for Michael Jackson's death. The Jackson attorneys claim that Jackson could have made over $1 billion by adding more concerts to his comeback tour and that his annual expenses would approximate $7 million. Ackerman's estimate of Jackson's annual expenses, over $40 million. Ackerman explained that Jackson's most valuable asset was the Sony ATD library, a collection of mostly Beatles songs for which Jackson received royalties. Ackerman said Jackson put it up as collateral for loans. His opinion, after reviewing financial records, that Jackson tapped out. That meantime, the payment on the loan debt multiplied. $300 million would become due in 2010, during his comeback tour, had he lived to perform. Ackerman testified that Jackson defaulted on bills for Neverland, $500,000 a year for the amusement rides alone, and that his mother's Havenhurst home was on the verge of foreclosure. Ackerman opened the books on family expenses, $276,000 a year for security for Katherine and the kids, $30,000 a year for food allowance, $122,000 a year per child for travel. The Jackson attorneys claim that AEG pressured Jackson to perform, knowing he needed money. AEG says that their partnership with Jackson helped him fulfill his wishes. While he needed to work, he also wanted to show his children how he became the king of pop.